When you hear the word sardines, you might immediately picture those small silvery fish packed tightly in a tin can, sitting on a supermarket shelf. For some people, sardines are a delicious powerhouse of nutrition, and for others, the idea of eating them sounds unappealing. But what if I told you there are 7 shocking truths about sardines that you need to know before you even think about adding them to your diet? By the end of this video, you might look at these little fish in a very different way. Let's start with the first truth that many people never think about. Sardines, just like other fish, can be exposed to pollutants in the water they live in. You've probably heard of mercury warnings when it comes to large fish like tuna or swordfish. The good news is that sardines are low on the food chain, which means they generally accumulate much less mercury. But that doesn't mean they are completely safe. Depending on where they are caught, sardines can still carry traces of heavy metals or microplastics from polluted seas. Imagine eating what you believe is a health food, but at the same time unknowingly taking in invisible particles that could build up in your body over time. It's a reality most people never consider, and it's one of the reasons why experts say you should know the source of your fish. The second truth is about salt, something so ordinary yet so dangerous when hidden in high amounts. If you're buying sardines in a can, there's a good chance they are loaded with sodium. Salt is often added not only for flavor, but to preserve the fish, and the levels can be shocking. One small can could contain nearly half of your daily recommended intake of sodium, and if you already deal with high blood pressure or heart issues, this can quickly become a problem. People think they're making a healthy choice by grabbing a can of sardines, only to unknowingly flood their body with salt that puts extra strain on the heart and arteries. It's one of those hidden risks that turns a good intention into a potential health setback. The third truth is about something many people underestimate: allergic reactions. Sardines may be small, but they can cause big problems for people with fish allergies or histamine sensitivity. Some canned sardines are especially high in histamine, which can trigger headaches, skin rashes, stomach issues, or even more serious reactions in sensitive individuals. And because sardines are often consumed with their skin and bones intact, the exposure is higher. It's not just about people with diagnosed allergies sometimes. Someone who never thought they had a problem with fish can suddenly experience a reaction after eating sardines. It's a reminder that what is healthy for one person might be dangerous for another. Now, here's the fourth truth that might make you think twice before you eat them straight out of the can. Sardines are packed with tiny bones. You've probably noticed them if you've ever tried sardines before the little white bones running through their soft flesh. While they're safe to eat and actually provide extra calcium, for some people, they can cause discomfort. Kids or older adults with sensitive throats might find them irritating, and there have been cases where tiny bones caused choking or got stuck in the digestive tract. It's rare, but it's a risk that doesn't exist with many other protein sources. So even though sardine bones are technically edible and nutritious, they can be a hidden hazard you need to be aware of. The fifth truth is all about what those sardines are packed in. Not all sardines are created equal, and the oil or sauce inside the can makes a massive difference. Some come in high-quality olive oil, which actually boosts their nutritional value and adds healthy fats. Others, however, are packed in cheap soybean oil, sunflower oil, or even sauces high in sugar and preservatives. These extras can turn something that should be a superfood into something that inflames your body. Imagine eating sardines because you want omega-3 benefits, but instead, you're filling yourself with low-quality oils that cancel out the very health benefits you were hoping for. Always checking the label matters more than most people realize. But before you think it's all bad news, the sixth truth is actually one of the reasons sardines have been called a near-perfect food. Despite the risks, sardines are a nutritional powerhouse. They are rich in omega-3 fatty acids that support brain health, reduce inflammation, and protect your heart. They're one of the few natural sources of vitamin D, a nutrient that most people don't get enough of, especially in colder climates. Sardines also contain calcium from their bones, protein for muscle repair, and B vitamins for energy. In fact, in some parts of the world, sardines are considered a survival food because they provide so much nutrition in such a small package. The key is to enjoy them wisely, benefiting from their nutrients without falling into the traps of sodium, additives, or poor quality packaging. Finally, the seventh truth is about timing and moderation. Sardines can be incredibly healthy when eaten occasionally, but eating them every day may not be the best choice. Too much sodium, too much histamine, or even too much of certain nutrients like vitamin D or purines could cause problems over time. People who suffer from gout, for example, might find that sardines worsen their condition because of their high purine content, which can raise uric acid levels. The secret is balance. Sardines don't have to be a forbidden food, but they also shouldn't be your only source of protein or omega-3 south. Mixing them into a varied diet ensures that you get their benefits without exposing yourself to their downsides. So when you look at the full picture, sardines are not simply a cheap fish in a can. They are a mix of powerful nutrients and hidden risks. On one hand, they can strengthen your bones, fuel your brain, and protect your heart. On the other, they can overload you with salt, trigger unexpected allergic reactions, or sneak in low-quality oils. This is why the decision to eat sardines should never be casual. It's not about avoiding them completely, but about making smart choices, choosing sardines packed in olive oil instead of cheap vegetable oil, limiting how often you eat them, and paying attention to how your body reacts. The truth is, most people never think about these details. They see sardines as either a superfood or as something to avoid because of taste. But now you know there's more to the story. Sardines are both a friend and a foe, depending on how you approach them. If you take the time to choose wisely, they can be a great addition to your meals. But if you eat them carelessly, you might face consequences that no one warned you about. So before you open that next can, remember these 7 truths. Think about where your sardines come from. Look at the sodium content. Notice what oil they're packed in. Consider your own health conditions, like allergies or gout. Decide how often you really need to eat them. Because once you know the full picture, you'll never look at sardines the same way again. And here's the real question. Now that you've learned the shocking truths about sardines, will you still be brave enough to eat them? Or will you think twice the next time you walk past that little tin can on the shelf?